structure of Ethereum USDD on a weekly time frame, and to seek a deeper understanding on the price movement by Shavyfxhub. This is a very complex chart, and so let's look at it from a line chart perspective. Before we switch into the line chart, we have here as SR support become resistance and breaker structure in 2021. And we'll have after breaker structure, price returns here as RT, ROS, that is retest to a broken structure, and we had another RT, ROS. And this ROS has formed an ascending trend line, which you can see here in the future. I expect a match in price into that zone. If we clear here, most likely Ethereum may tap into this structure. This is under probability. And the impetus for this kind of strategy and technical interpretation of the market is based on what price has done at this level. There is a clear market structure here which cannot be swept under the carpet. A support structure. Remember, our strategy is based on interchange, SRROS interchange, to establish a retest. At the end of that interchange, that is what we look out for. And we look out for the trend angle where we maintain the trend angle in the future. So we have an SR here, we have an RS. The interchange has given us an RT, ROS, and an ascending trend line, which is case 1. So this is the next zone of reaction, about 6,000 plus for Ethereum. The next move for Ethereum is heading into 6K plus. And it feels good to see that price has come back to retest the current all-time high of Ethereum. And after retesting the current all-time high within the zone, market has dropped significantly. Market dropped on a supply roof. And it was historical to see that what deemed impossible by inexperienced traders have happened. Ethereum came retested. It retested October 2021 price action rejection level, and at that level we have seen a Ethereum sell order trigger. And the reason you see price dropped is what we call take profit in the market, and that take profit are pending sell order. It is a pending sell order by multiples of institutions that whenever price gets to this level, sell. So whether they're on holiday, whether they're on yacht, whether they're on their private plane, it doesn't matter. There are millions of dollars, millions, billions of dollars, let me use the word, of multiple order at that level. That is why you see price has dropped there. Most of the people who trigger this sell order are sleeping, are doing something else. They don't even care about this market. They have left the order. And when price came there, it was an auto execution. And we have seen that price drop from there. And we were speculating using our 4 hours chart, but that was what refreshed my mind due to that oversight to look at the structure of the market on a higher time frame. And this is what brings in the concept of multi-time frame analysis. Multi-time frame analysis entails that you approach the market from a quarter perspective to a monthly perspective to a weekly perspective to a daily perspective to an intraday perspective where you demystify market price reaction. And we anchoring on the weekly gives us a clear overview, and all we are looking for is for forward guidance. So we have seen what happened there, and from the floor, you see, to be very very honest, if you clone this structure and you bring this structure at this level, it gives you another area of reaction where I expect that if we break out from here, an anticipated source zone could be in this level, yes, around 5,248, and I'm going to change it to a fainted dotted line to leave it because I'm going to save this chart. I'm going to save it for reference. And let me also throw more light into the structure here. We have here as SR support become resistance zone breaker structure on a weekly time frame. And we'll have another RS support become resistance. And we have a breaker structure. This is Shavyfxhub strategy, and we have here as a RT slash ROS after breaker structure. You see that a previous demand floor has turned to a supply roof and on ascending trend line. So I'm also going to put all this for reference. So this is my 6th line. I wanted to maintain only 5 lines, but for educational purpose, I want to detail everything. So that means on technical, here becomes your new sell zone on probability. Like I tell you, everything in trading is probability. So there is a very high probability that price could come here and react. If they pull out from this structure, they could be rejected at this level. Then they will come back to use the break of the previous supply roof, which was the current all-time high, as a demand floor. So I'm going to put under here demand. So if that happens, under will be a demand floor because what a break of a current all-time high becomes a demand floor, a foundation for uptick. So you see price will react there and break out that structure and go back to align with a weekly candle close. And from the downside, we have descending trend line from the current all-time high. You will see a breaking structure, and we see another resistance structure here that gives us a descending trend line by way of wicks. A beautiful wick rejection, a beautiful week reaction, but it feels good to see that the price action was well calibrated, well measured, and the market didn't fail when we had a breakout from that structure. And let me also change the color as we're having multiple colors. I would like to change color to put it into perspective. Now you see that on that descending trend line, look at what has happened. ROS1, ROS2, break of ROS level. What was broken? Two ROS level, ROS1, ROS2, break of that structure, price returns here as a retest and as a support structure. So ROT SR1. And when price return finally, we have caught this market on a sniper entry after retesting. We had here ROS, we had here ROS, two ROS level giving a descending trend line, breakout price return here as ROT ROS, so ROT SR, and when price return here, that's the final ROT SR, and you have seen market have left on a double confluence. And if you look critically here, we also have a horizontal demand floor backing that level up on the weekly candle close, and it didn't disappoint. And at that level, you see it triggered a stronger buy sentiment, and we have seen Ethereum from that level retrace back. So it feels good to see it. It feels good to see it. That's what trading is all about. That's what trading is all about, ladies and gentlemen. It's probability, and at the same time, it's very much analytical. Sometimes you get what you want, sometimes you don't get it. So if it's going your way, you secure your profit. You secure your profit. It can't turn against you. So this becomes a new demand floor. So this becomes a new demand floor, and it came on double confluence. Remember, we had the after break of structure, demand floor one, demand floor two, and price came back demand floor three, and you have seen it. You don't have left on the weekly time frame, and it feels good to see that this is the strategy that have addressed market in a very simple way, but at the same time very factual, and at the same time very realistic. So you see what price have done there. And from this side, we have another ascending trend line, another beautiful structure, which I also want to put into perspective. And let's see what goes on the weekly time frame, and we know where we're waiting the market. So on this, you have here as ROS1 resistance becomes support and break of structure. Another ROS resistance becomes support and break of structure, giving us an ascending trend line on the weekly time frame, and we have a break of structure, turning ROS level to SR level, and as well a retest candle. And you have here as RT. So we have series of RT and break of that level, break of a support structure, turn it to a resistance structure, and you have seen the sell down. And when price came back, broke that structure, it turned to a sell. And we returned there as a RT slash SR. And you have seen how the structure was broken again after tapping liquidity from the supply roof. And finally, you see when we came back, we broke that resistance structure. A broken demand floor came back, broke the supply roof again. On a normal day, we got liquidity from here. So that impulse, look at the heavy bullish candle, nothing could stop it. So when we broke that structure with a turn on weekly, we found our demand. So it is important that we align with this kind of price movements. Look at what has happened there. Did you see what happened there? Did you see it? So that is the structure of the market. So when price returns again, that's an ideal demand floor. And from the top side, we have ROS1, we have ROS2, break of that ROS level, two ROS level 1, ROS level 2, giving us a descending trend line, break of that structure, returns here as a demand floor. So if Ethereum comes back into 3,948, I would like to buy. 3,948, you look for a buy opportunity. You look for a buy opportunity. And the reason for that trade, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. On a candle close, look. Look at what price is doing. So let's see. We're going to watch this structure. We're going to watch it. That's a breakout from a roof on a weekly candle. And you see after price broke out, it formed a demand floor, a break of a supply roof, ROS1, ROS2, ROS3, ROS4, break of 4 ROS level on ascending trend line, ATL. And you have seen what price did there, price leverage on it. So if Ethereum does not move on from here on a weekly time frame and to continue to go up, maybe the next week candle might seek liquidity into this structure and reject by close of the week, just like the way you have seen rejection in this area now. Look at the weekly rejection. Price can come back deep itself here to pretend like it wants to sell, because market will not violate this weekly close. ROS1, ROS2, ROS3. So the next week candle might come in, dip itself into the structure and reject back, just like as this week candle has done. So if that happens, then you are going to see a smart move that market will come here, market will reject, and you see it continue in that move. And in a worst case scenario, just like I tell you, trading is probability. If it breaks this structure and the weekly candle fails to recover, a break below this black ascending trend line and the weekly candle fails to recover, then it's going to challenge this. We're going to have maybe possibly consolidation. And on that consolidation, we might see ourselves break and return into the zone. This is what trading is all about. Trading is all about probability. And if this level is not sustained, I'm sorry to tell you that price could continue to sink. Price could continue to sink, and this is an ideal, faithful level to wait for price. Very beautiful level to wait for price. Price could come in here. I see a very strong break and retest at that level, and there is a very high probability that price could be sustained at that level. So every level you see in trading is subject to probability, and it can hold and it can mix your account up. So if we fail there, you could see a continuous bearish drop into this level, which also makes here another demand flow on a weekly time frame. So I'm going to save this structure. I will not delete it. I will leave it while I continue to look at other lower time frame structures, as this is a very complex structure, but in reality it represents what the market is saying. So at the moment it feels good to see we have rejected the current all-time high. Now we don't know what is going to happen, but for now, if you're not in a buy, you're not in a sell, I will advise you to be patient. Allow the market. Let's see how. In fact, if you are not in a buy already, you might be having issue to make profit right now. You might be having issue to make profit from buy and from sell, based on my technical understanding of price movement. The reason is simple. The market has rejected a current all-time high. That rejection in current all-time high could draw this market down. Look at what price did here. After price creates that high, market sold and didn't look back until it returned into 917. So be very, very careful of what price has done here. At this level, you don't know the level of take profits. The market might decide they want to take a significant profit before the next upswing. So we are going to look at this key critical level to see how price defend this ROS1, ROS2, ROS3, ROS4 candle close on a weekly time frame. They are all weekly candle closes. Look at it. Weekly candle close, weekly candle close, weekly candle close. So we are going to see how the next weekly candle closes. Is it going to close? If we get a close below it, then we'll start looking for a sell opportunity. But if we have this new week coming, the weekly candle closes above this, then it's a retest to a broken weekly candle close on ascending trend line. They will look for buy opportunity. So you have to be patient, or you just do whatever you want to do, and you get whatever results as a result of your action. So for now, as you start the week, reflect, and I wish you good luck. Start strong. Your resilience is what matters. Stay faithful, and risk management is key and critical. And always know that trading is probability. Bye bye.